to Mahjoob Zweiri, a non-resident senior fellow at the Middle East Council on Global Affairs. Always a pleasure to have you on, Mahjoob. How much is this ceasefire being observed by Israel because of the man sitting in the White House?
It's obvious, Adnan, that Israelis are not fully committed to the ceasefire. It's obvious that they are creating events and incidents just to show that they are in control, and they want to send the messages to their own bases, the right-wing bases, that things are still in their hand. There is a terminology I have created the last week about the situation in Gaza, which I call it the state of war. There is a differentiation between war and the state of the war. What's happening now in Gaza, that Israeli government is trying to maintain the state of the war, with basically all elements of the war there, but there is no war and there is no prices to pay politically. And that's what's happening. They are controlling decisively the borders. They are not getting aid inside Gaza. They are attacking wherever they want, regardless the justification. They basically maintain the suffering of the Palestinians, but this is not a war. It's the state of the war. And that is an important thing to be observed. The second thing I think, Adnan, we have to pay attention to, that the world is paying attention to less than maybe 20 or 15 of the Israeli bodies, but there are 10,000 bodies of the Palestinians. Nobody can find them because there is no needed trucks or the need for that is not there. So basically, they don't have the trucks or the other elements which can help them to find those bodies. So there is a level of hypocrisy as well, that attention on less than 15 bodies, but there are 10,000 bodies, are absolutely forgotten.
There seems to be a kind of a lack of logic in the demand from Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump for Hamas to disarm. Isn't it quite clear that if Hamas disarms while the occupation is still in Gaza, the Israeli military will just come in and kill members of Hamas, who then, of course, wouldn't be able to fight back? And that's what Hamas is saying, that the weapons are the one way we can resist the occupation. We need them.
That issue is raising an important matter, which is who's protecting Palestinians? Israelis is seeking security, its own security, but who's protecting Palestinians? And if they are disarmed with Hamas and other factions, who will be protecting Palestinians? And I think that is the main argument that Israel is trying to sell, that, there will be international forces, or, four countries like, I think, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Egypt, and other countries, they will be participating in this international forces, and they will basically secure the security of the Palestinians. That's not true. I mean, it's obvious that the situation is complicated and beyond that what the Israelis say. Israelis is making a big fuss of the issue, which is basically the disarmament of Hamas. Why? Because they know that is a complicated matter, and that could delay the restructuring, rebuilding Gaza, complicating any political process in Gaza, complicating the life of Gaza. So that they pressure the Palestinians to do so, benefiting from the presence of Trump and his support. Of course, I think this will be the second complicated matter with the second phase, and this is likely to have a long way until they get to sort of agreement.
What do you make of J.D. Vance's imminent arrival? Everything we know about the U.S. Vice President before he assumed the position was that he just didn't care about foreign policy at all. He once said, "I don't care what happens to Ukraine."
I think, and then we have to remember that Trump's second presidency has failed on two major foreign policy issues, China and Russia and Ukraine. So far, there's a huge failure. The only potential, I would say, success is the situation in Gaza. And that is the reason why I can say with a lot of confidence that they are putting a lot of investment to bring end to the war in Gaza, because that is one of the elements they can consider a great success. In fact, I think in this context, Vance has been sent to the region. And interestingly, we have to observe what Netanyahu did. Netanyahu had attack on southern Gaza and Rafah, and he create sort of complication. And this is a very smart, but a very, I would say a very wrong gesture to the Americans. He's trying to change the narrative from listening to the Americans to change and to push the process. He's actually want the American to tell him, please calm down. We don't need any attack. He's trying to create change the whole narrative from the Americans. Just maintain the ceasefire on the first stage, and we will be thankful to you. And that is what he's doing now. Most of the discussion in the last 96 hours is about actually what happened in Rafah. There is no talk about the second phase or the third phase.
Mahjoob Zweiri, thank you so much indeed for the analysis.
Pleasure, Adnan.